Thanks for joining us here at Functional Bliss, where Audra and Jessica will guide you through exercises and wellness techniques to help you live your best life every day. It's in the name, after all, Functional Bliss. Before you do anything else, click like and subscribe and ring the bell so you'll know whenever we put up a new video. To join our Blissful Gang for live Zoom classes where you can get more direct suggestions and encouragement, go to our website and sign up. Check the class description below for any equipment needs, grab your gear, and let's get started.
For our friend Gail online. So throw on music if you like listening to music. And we'll get this party started. All right, so we're going to start with our yoga block at our feet. And we're going to put it on the tallest setting. Now, when we put it on the tallest setting, we just want to be mindful and careful, because if your block is a little skinnier, it might be slightly wobbly underfoot. So just make sure that you feel like you have it set so you don't have to work too hard. So we're going to step our feet up. So your block is on the tallest setting, and then you're going to see if you can just kind of gently fold. Think like a little bit of a child's pose. So you're just going to kind of fold in towards your feet. And then take a moment just to breathe nice and slow and nice and deep. And then as you start to settle in and you maybe get comfortable and you start to notice your breath, and just maybe noticing the feeling or movement of breath in your body is sometimes a nice place to start. And then once you feel the breath, then you kind of tune in and say, okay, where do I feel any places of tightness, or where do I feel like the breath can't move into? Could I breathe a little bit deeper and expand the spaces that the breath has room and access to nudge any tight spots? So see if you can just take a deeper breath and expand any places where your breath is feeling like it just hits that edge and it can't go any further. Now you might be happy here. Here in this position, our heart's up a little bit higher and our head is up a little bit higher. So this might feel good and you might come back to it. But for a moment, if you can, you're going to come up and out of that nice closed container, and you're going to flip your block down to medium setting. And then once you've got your block on medium setting, you're going to put your feet back on and then come back to that shape. Now the feet are a little bit more supported, so that alone might feel different. And then you're just going to tune in again. Notice that subtle change, maybe gone about 2 or 3 inches down, closer to the ground. Notice your breath. Now this might be good. You might have opted to go back to the taller setting, or it might feel interesting now to come to that lower setting. So if it feels like an interesting exploration, you're going to come up, reset your block so that it's on the lowest setting. And then once you've got your block on low setting, feet back on the block, and we fold right back down towards our feet. Now notice there's that, just again, that subtle change of 2 or 3 inches. How does that feel in your body? Now, assuming that you feel comfortable in this low setting on the block, you're going to walk your feet in a little bit closer so that your toes and the balls of your feet are on the block. And then we're going to see if we can get our fingers to just hold down the 4 small toes. So we're in this little compression. You're going to let your fingers hold down the 4 small toes. And now you're just going to start to lift up and down the big toes. Keep the 4 small toes pressed down. We're staying in this little folded child's pose like container. Notice the movement that happens in your toes. Notice, how do your toes look? How's your pedicures been doing lately? Notice if your toes have a tendency to move slightly inward or slightly outward. No right or wrong. We're just building a little strength in the big toe line and noticing the movement. All right, take one more up and down with the big toes, and then keep your feet on the block for a moment, but come up a little bit. We're going to take it into that pressure cooker. So we're going to take our hands to the outside of the shins. You're going to think shin or outsides of your calves. Your calves are pushing out, your hands are pushing in, but you're also going to think pressing out from abdomen. So you're going to think about lifting your abdomen away from your thighs. So we create like this. Think like a pressure cooker. Push your energy out to the outer edges. Push your calves out, hands push in, belly button pushes towards the spine, and there's just like this nice energy. Think of this nice container, and hold that container of tension. Hold it for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Soften, come up. Now we're going to readjust the block to medium setting, and then we're going to go into, but when we get here, you're going to just make sure that the block feels good and it can stay in place, because we think we're going to go half butterfly. You're going to do that leg slide where but you just pick up the leg and shift your heel over the edge of the block, and then lift the leg to knee height, lower it back down, step it onto the block. Half butterfly. Pick the foot up, heel scoops in front of the block, lift up to knee height, lower down, come back in. Adjust your block as needed so it feels sturdy underneath you. You don't want to feel like you have to fiddle too much with it. And now, if you want a little extra work, you're going to add that resistance with your hands. You're going to push into your hand and you adjust along the way. So if you want that resistance, you're going to create it as you go. Press into the top of the thigh to get a little work in the hip flexors. Hold on to the side of the thigh to get a little adductor work. So go where it feels good. Add resistance along the way if that feels beneficial. Nice. Take one more time through. And then set that foot down. Whew, take a second and notice just one side is going to feel a little different than the other. Now take it to the other side, but go for the loose version first. Find your half butterfly, lift to knee height. I like to notice sometimes that we do variations in chair yoga that are variations on our mat yoga, but where there are times when it feels a little bit more challenging when you do it in the chair version. I love that. All right, when you're ready, you're going to add that resistance if you want to. Hand to the outside of the thigh, hand to the top of the thigh. Create your resistance as you go if it feels beneficial. Nice. Take 2 more times through if you can. And then once you've done those 2 more, take a second, let everything get just like wiggle out any of that stiff, sticky energy. And then we're going to come back to that pressure cooker. So hands are going to come to the sides of your calves, push the calves out, push your hands in, draw up through your center and broaden through back body. Take a nice big breath in. Keep that pressure going. Take a nice big breath in. Exhale nice and slow. Take one more breath. All right, release your pressure cooker, come up nice and slow. Set your feet down on the ground. We're going to come back to the block, but just for a moment, take a light, gentle seated twist. Go for like just a soft range of motion, just to take it out of the legs, out of the hips, and just up into the spine. Take a nice big breath. Breathe like you're trying to breathe into the water of your body. a little black capped chickadee on my little rooftop right out my window. He's come to say hello. Take one more breath. All right, when you're ready, release, take your twist over to the other side. Keep it soft, keep it gentle, and then come to this idea of breathing into the water of your body. Return back to center. Left hand's going to hold on to the side of the chair, and then we're going to tip out a little bit so we get that shoulder to breast, and then drop your ear away from that shoulder. Get a nice bit of length in the side of your neck. Take a nice big breath. Lift up nice and slow. Hold on to the other side of the chair. Tip out so you get that shoulder depression, and then drop your ear away, and then just come back to your breath. Lovely. Lift your head, release your hands, shrug out your shoulders, just give them a little bit of wiggly movement, and then take it into some head turns. Turn your head from side to side, just looking over one shoulder and then the other. One more turn of the head from side to side, and then bring it to center, looking up and down. And then for this one, we'll add on, but for right now, just look up and down in whatever sort of natural way that goes. All right, now the next time your chin tucks down, stay there. Now you're going to look up with your eyeballs first. So your eyes are going to look up as far as they can go. And then once your eyes are looking up as far as they go, then let your head follow. So your eyes are going to lead the way. Look up, look up, look up, and let your head follow the movement. And then once you're up as high as you can go, look your eyeballs down and then start to go with your vision. Follow your eyes. Once your eyes are as low as they'll go, look up again. Look up, follow your eyes. And then once you've hit end range of motion, look down and follow your eyes. Do that one more time. Look up, follow your eyes. Look down, follow your eyes. Awesome. And then head's going to come back to a neutral position. We're going to go one hand to the chin, and we're going to take the other hand and get a nice good thumbs up. And now we're going to, our hand's going to draw some big gigantic circles. Our eyeballs are going to follow that thumb, and our head is going to stay as neutral and steady as possible. You're going to bring that thumb around as wide as you can. Take one more circle around, and then just notice which direction you're going, and we're just going to take the work to the other hand. So release, switch your hand hold, chin, and then we're going to take that other arm and we're circling around, and you're going to go for those nice big gigantic circles. Eyeballs are following the thumb, head staying nice and steady. Got to keep our eyes healthy so we can see the birds and the flowers and the stars. All right, take one more circle around, and then we're going to take both hands and just reach them behind you. Catch hold of the back of the chair, gentle back bend. Lift your chest, lift your chin. Let your eyes close down for a moment. Just let your heart open. Let your armpit chest open. Take a nice big breath. Breathe into the bony structure of your ribs. Breathe into the wateriness of your body. And then take one more breath as if you're trying to breathe all the way down to your toes. Nice. And then when you're ready, slowly release, give your shoulders a little shrug, 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 shrug. Now take your yoga block. You're going to put it off to one side, and then you might adjust, because what we're looking for is that step out and touch. So we want the block on tall setting if we can manage it. And we're just stepping in, up and out. So we're just building, coming back to building up a little bit of heat. Heat speak in yoga is tapas. So if you ever hear the word tapas, that's building heat in the body. That's where we put ourselves into challenges so that we build up resistance and strength. All right, take one more hop. And then we're just going to put your foot down on the ground, grab your block, and hopefully you have a little space underneath your thighs. And if not, scoot your butt forward, pass that block underneath your thighs, bring it all the way up and overhead. Pass your block underneath your thighs, bring it up and overhead. Pass it underneath your thighs, bring it up and overhead. And now we're going to pass it around the waist. So just feel like you got a little bit of space behind you. Pass it around. Go for 3 good passes. And then we're going to take that block and put it over onto the other side. So ish symmetrical, but test the water, see where you're at. Find that position where you can pick that leg up and hop it over. And then notice there might just be subtle differences. Like for me, my left hip always does this little clicky thing. Like there's all these little subtle imbalances that show up in our body. Like how do we address those things? How do we take care of them, or do we just let them be? Sometimes all 3. Nice. Take 3 more good hops. All right, and then when you're ready, bend forward, grab that yoga block, pass it underneath your thighs, take it up and overhead, pass it under your thighs, take it up and overhead, pass it under your thighs, take it up and overhead, and then take it back to passing it around your waist, just looking for a little shoulder mobility. That nice, this one, Lori, I think of is I got to pass that dog leash behind my back because my dog decided to go on the other side. All right, take one more pass around. And then when you're ready, just set that block down. And now we're just going to take some nice front of the body movements. You're going to go left leg, right hand, lift up, and then switch to the other side. And get a little bit of that thigh lifting off the chair if you can. So we just want to feel like there's this nice, good engagement of those quadricep muscles. Take one more time each side, or even yourself out, and then find your mountain pose, but nice and solid on the chair, hands down at your sides, feet solid on the ground. And just for a moment, if you can, close your eyes and just feel your feet connected to the ground. When you're ready, open your eyes, inhale, arms up, look up. Exhale, lift your heart and fold towards your feet. Inhale, half fold. Exhale, soften back down. Right hand over to the left shin, left hand reaches up for a twist. Bring that hand down, catch hold of your knee. Bring your knee to your chest, bring your nose to your knee. Flex your foot, lift your chest, lift your chin. Release your chin, float that foot down to the ground, come through mountain pose. Inhale, arms up, look up. Exhale, lift your heart and fold. Inhale, half fold. Exhale, soften down, left hand over to the right shin, right hand reaches for a twist. Bring that right hand down, slide up the shin, bring knee to chest, bring nose to knee. Flex your foot, lift your chest, lift your chin. Release your chin, soften your foot back down to the ground. Inhale, arms up, look up. Exhale, lift your heart and fold. Inhale, half fold. Exhale, soften down, right hand over to the left shin, left hand reaches for a twist. Bring that hand down, catch hold of your shin, knee comes to the chest, nose to the knee. Flex your foot, lift your chest, lift your chin. Release your chin, relax your foot, take that knee, swing it out to the side, bring it back in, swing it out to the side, bring it back in. One more time, swing it out to the side, bring it back in, set it down, mountain pose. Inhale, arms up, look up. Exhale, lift and fold. Inhale, half fold. Exhale, soften, left hand over to the right shin, right hand reaches for a twist. Bring that right hand down, catch hold of the shin, bring knee to chest, bring nose to knee. Flex your foot, lift your chest, lift your chin. Release your foot, release your chin, take that knee, swing it out to the side, bring it back in, swing it out to the side, bring it back in, swing it out to the side, bring it back in, set it down, come back through mountain pose. Inhale, arms up, look up. Exhale and fold. Inhale, half fold. Exhale, soften, right hand over to the left shin, left hand reaches for a twist. Bring that hand down, catch hold of your knee, bring knee to chest, bring nose to knee. All right, now we're going to release nose to knee, take that foot and swing it out to the side into our side angle position. Elbow to the knee, think rib cage lifting up and away from the top thigh. Top hand reaches up and over. Hang out here for a moment, take a breath. Now we're going to take this top hand, and we're going to thread it through. You're going to reach through that little triangle of space and then reach it back up to the sky and look to the hand if you can. Do it again. Thread it through a little bit, reaching through that space and then pulling it up to the sky. And don't try to force it, just go where you can reach. One more time. Reaching through. Reach it up to the sky. Take a nice big breath. Lovely. Lift up with good side body strength. Grab that thigh, bring it back to center. Find your mountain pose. Inhale, arms up, look up. Exhale and fold. Inhale, half fold. Exhale, soften. Right hand over to the left shin, left hand over to the right shin. Right hand reaches for a twist. Bring that hand down, catch hold of your shin, go knee to chest, nose to knee. Lovely. Lift your nose up, step that foot out to the side, get positioned here so that your angle feels good, and then think rib cage lifting up and over, elbow to the knee. Top hand reaches up and over so you get that nice big side stretch. Take a breath. Awesome. Now take that top hand and thread it through, reaching as far as you can comfortably, and then lifting that hand back up to the sky. Thread it through. Reach it up to the sky. Thread it through. Reach it up to the sky. One extra breath. And then use that good side body strength. Lift yourself up. Catch hold of that thigh. Help pick it up. Bring it on in. Now grab your yoga block. We're going to go yoga block low setting. You're going to place the yoga block to the inside of your right foot. So we want it just inside of the ankle. And then your left leg is going to come into a little figure four in that low setting. But keep a good firmness to your foot. So think nice strong foot resting on the blade edge, but the foot is strong and confident. All right, you got that strong, confident foot. Now hip hinge, lean your heart forward just a little bit, and then come back up. Lean your heart forward just a little bit. Come back up. Lean your heart forward just a little bit. Come back up, rotate towards your knee, move the knee in and out just a little bit, but keep the blade edge connected to the block. Awesome. And then once you've moved it on in and out about 3 times, help lift that leg up and off past your block over to the other inside of the foot. Get that little figure four going on there. Keep that foot nice and strong. Lift your chest, hinge forward. Come back up. Lift your chest, lean forward. Come back up. Lift your chest, lean forward. Come back up, rotate slightly, bringing that knee in just a little bit. And then when you're ready, release, step that foot off. Now we're going to flip the yoga block to medium setting, putting medium setting up against that left inside of the foot. Right leg comes on into that figure four. Keep the foot nice and solid. Go in for that hip hinge. Lean forward a little bit. Come back up. Lean forward. Come back up. Lean forward. Come back up. Rotate towards the knee. Pull the knee just a little bit closer to you. Keep the blade edge on the foot. Take a breath. Release your knee. Help that leg come up and off. Pass the block over to the other side. Staying with that medium setting. Find that blade edge. Make sure it feels really nice and strong. And then we hip hinge. Lean forward. Come back up. Lean forward. Come back up. Lean forward. Come back up. Rotate towards that knee, pulling it in just a little bit, but keep the blade edge connected. Release nice and slow. And now we're going to switch block to tallest setting. So flip it to the tallest setting. Get your figure four set up. Make sure that foot feels nice and solid. Hip hinge. Take a breath. Come back up. Hip hinge. Take 2 breaths. Come back up. Hip hinge. Take 3 breaths. Come back up. Take a second, step that foot off, pass your block over to the other side, tall setting, blade edge of the foot on, get your figure four set up first. And then when you're there, hip hinge, lean forward, stay for 1 breath. Come back up. Hip hinge, lean forward, stay for 2 breaths. Come back up. Hip hinge, lean forward, stay for 3 breaths. Beautiful. Come back up. And now this one's a little bit wobbly. So you might keep the block on tall setting, but flip it sideways. And we're going to take it into a little butterfly. So we're going to get those blade edges on. We want to make sure that our blade edge of our feet and our ankles aren't just getting like wiggly wobbly. We want them nice and strong. Once you've got that nice strong handstand sides, but we're not pushing down, we're pushing the knees up. And we're using that nice control so that we can tip our heart forward. Feet are nice and active. Knees are gently pushing up into the hands. Take a big breath like you're trying to breathe into the rib cage. Take a big breath like you're breathing into the wateriness of your body. Take a big breath like you're trying to breathe down to your pinky toes. All right, come up nice and slow. Leave the block alone or let it do whatever it wants to do. We're going to put 1 foot down and come into that figure four across the thigh if that feels available. If that's not available for anybody doing the YouTube at home, come back to the block. Once you've got yourself into that figure four, tip forward and we're just going to stay there. You're going to stay there for about 5 nice deep breaths. Come up nice and slow. Leave your leg in that figure four configuration. Now take your opposite arm and bring it across the chest and then just shrug that shoulder down. And then once you've got this nice feeling going on here, nod your chin up and down. One more nod up and down. Head comes to neutral, release that arm, help lift that leg up and off. And then we're going to set that work up to the other side. So take your figure four position first, get comfortable. One side might always be different from the other. So one might be on the block, one might be on the knee, totally up to you. Get your body where it wants to be and then come to a fold that feels good. And then just hang out there about 5 nice deep breaths. When you're ready, come up nice and slow. Keep that leg across if you can. Go into that opposite arm, bringing the arm across, drop the shoulder down. And then once you've got a comfortable position here, then nod your head up and down. One more nod of the head up and down. And then head comes to neutral. Release your arm, release your leg. Take a second, give everything, just give it all a little wiggle. Shrug out your shoulders, wiggle out your legs, wiggle out your toes. Make sure everything feels good. Now, my suggestion is that we will come back to where we started with that block on the tall setting, feet up and on it, and then we fold and we kind of hang out there in that last little child's pose, little embryo, just tucked in. If that feels good. If you get here and you're like, nah, that's not for me, that's not how I want to finish, finish any way that you like. But if this feels okay, then you're just going to tune in and notice, how does your low back feel? Can you take a moment to just let a little bit of that expansive breath nudge any of those last little tight spaces? And then can you just start to breathe into the wateriness of your body? Let your eyes close down if that feels comfortable. Keeping everything as comfortable as you can. Maybe see if you can just release your hand hold wherever you're holding on and see if you can just start to wiggle your fingers a little bit. And then if you feel a deeper breath come back into your body, start to wiggle your toes. And then if you feel that deeper breath come back into your body, let your hands cup around your toes and just give your toes a little loving squeeze. Just squeeze your toes. Notice your toes. How do they feel? Does the skin feel dry or supple? Do your toes feel cold or warm? There's no right or wrong. Just notice your toes. Send them a little love. Take a nice big breath all the way down to your toes. And then just smush, smush, smush around the top of your feet, smush, smush, smush around the tops of your ankles. Just wake up the tops of the surface of your feet. Just smush them, any little touch point that you can get. Smush the tops of your ankles, and then maybe take it to the sides of your ankles and smush, smush, smush there. And then if you can make a little space, smush it to the insides of your ankles. Just give it a little increase blood flow to the surface of the skin. Smush it around just enough. And then once you've smushed your feet and your ankles just enough, come up slowly away from that fold. And then just take one hand to the belly, one hand to the heart. Take a nice big breath in. Slow breath out. Keep your eyes closed if you can. You're going to step your right foot down to the earth. Let your foot touch the ground. Notice your foot. Take a breath. Keeping your eyes closed if you can, you're going to step your other foot down to the ground. Notice your foot. Feel the surface of the ground underneath your foot. Take a nice big breath. All right, and then we're going to come up in a folded to standing. So if you can, just fold down towards your feet. Let your hands find the ground, or let your hands find your yoga block. And then you're just going to start to lift your butt up away from your chair just enough. Still keep that good, generous bend in the knees. No need to straighten the legs. We'll wait till we get all the way up. Keep those knees nice and bent. Take a nice big breath. And then just walk your hands up your legs. Take your time. Walk up the shins, over the knees, up the thighs. Take your time. No need to rush. And then once you've come all the way up, now take it into that big good morning stretch. Yawn and reach and stretch up towards the sky. Let your chest lift, let your gaze lift. Take a nice big breath. And then one hand to the belly, one hand to the heart, and just take a moment to offer up some gratitude for your mind, for your body, and for all of your hard work. And then I send my love and gratitude out to you. You guys are always an inspiration. I bow to you. You are amazing.